Welcome, everyone, to yet another edition of Growth Algorithm, the podcast where we take the big, complex questions in the tech world and tackle them with an open mind, boundless curiosity, and a spirit of optimism. My friends call me T, and I'm your host today. Today, I am thrilled to have my friend Bobby as our guest on the show. He's an experienced developer with a knack for cutting through the techno jargon and making things clear and understandable. He's ready to dive deep into artificial intelligence, and I'm sure we're all looking forward to hearing his insights. I'm glad to have you on board, Bobby.
How y'all doing today? Thanks for having me on T. I'm just an old country boy at heart, but I sure do love me some technology. Ready to have a down-home discussion about AI in the future.
Today we will examine some radical predictions about the future of AI. These predictions were made by Imad Mostaque, the founder of Stability AI. They promise to shake up our world, but the question is, are they realistic or are they pipe dreams?
I seen some of the crazy AI art made by Stability AI and it blew my socks off. But I'm itching to dig into whether these predictions are legitimate or a bunch of bull. Sounds good to me, T. Let's get to prognosticating about AI. I'm more excited than a pig in a mud hole.
It's great to have your input, Bobby. As always, we will examine these predictions from all angles, looking at both the promise and the potential pitfalls. We aim to help our listeners gain a clear and unbiased understanding of these potentially game-changing technologies.
Dang right, T. We gotta remain clear-eyed, even when these Silicon Valley tycoons start making big claims about AI changing the world and stuff.
Bobby, your enthusiasm is infectious. Now let's dive into the first prediction, the claim that ChatGPT-level AI assistants will be on phones everywhere within a year. This is a bold claim considering current AI technology still requires much computing power. Can we really see such a leap in just 1 year?
Well, dip me in honey and throw me to the possums. That's a mighty bold claim right there. I reckon current AI still takes up a big chunk of computing power.
Indeed, Bobby. It is a very ambitious prediction. Tech companies will undoubtedly make strides towards miniaturizing AI to fit on phones. However, completely removing the connectivity requirement is a stretch in that timeline. The main challenge is computational power. To clarify to our listeners, when we say computational power, we are talking about hardware memory, RAM memory, and chip power with neural engine. In the current tech landscape, I can see only the Apple Silicon chip capable of this on iOS devices. As for Android, could something be possible with Google's upcoming Tensor 3?
Yeah, I ain't holding my breath on that one. But given how fast AI is evolving, I suppose anything's possible with them fancy neural networks. Still seems fishier than a catfish farm to me, though.
Your skepticism is well-founded, Bobby. Now let's move on to the next prediction. The claim that personalized AI-generated videos, movies, will be available on demand within 1-2 years. It will not take this long. It is happening today.
Hot diggity! Now that sounds like some real Black Mirror type stuff. Makes me more nervous than a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Your concerns echo my own, Bobby. Synthetic media is indeed a tricky field. While the technology might progress quickly, we must develop ethical frameworks and protections alongside it to prevent misuse. We will talk more later in the show about it. Still, I am scared to see how media manipulation and deepfake videos grow exponentially.
Yep, we gotta be real cautious about handing AI too much control over what we see and hear. Them Silicon Valley youngins don't always think through the consequences.
You're absolutely right, Bobby. We must be cautious about the power we hand over to AI, especially regarding our media. The tech gurus in Silicon Valley often push ahead with innovations without fully considering the potential consequences. We're unpacking Imad Mostaque's predictions on how AI will change the world. The next one is quite a shocker. He believes AI will eliminate most programmer jobs within 5 years.
Well, slap me silly, there goes my job. Though between you and me, T, half them programmers don't know a loop from a hole in the ground. Most code I see is full of bugs and shoddier than a flea market rooster.
Bobby, your point about software quality today is very valid, but replacing humans entirely with AI in programming might be too extreme. After all, software development isn't just about following rules. It requires creativity and problem-solving skills, aspects that AI has yet to master fully. It is like learning a new language, French, Spanish, or any other. It has its nuances, the culture behind it. It is not about translation. That being said, I believe that not good developers will be out of the job soon.
I reckon you're right. Software development takes all kinds. Them meticulous code studiers and also us cowboys shooting from the hip. AI might automate some of the drudge work, but it ain't replacing this cowboy.
Yes, Bobby, each of us brings a unique set of skills to the table. On a more positive note, Imad predicts that AI will revolutionize healthcare by significantly improving access to diagnostics and treatment.
Well, that's one application I can get behind. Those fancy neural networks analyze medical data faster than a hog eats slop. Could help a lot of folks, especially in rural areas far from the top docs.
I couldn't agree more, Bobby. The potential is indeed exciting, but we must ensure that AI is used to complement medical professionals rather than replace them. The human touch, empathy, and understanding are so important in healthcare.
Wise perspective as always, T. Now, what in tarnation was that last prediction about? Giving some AI tablet to every kid in Africa?
Yes, Bobby. The idea is to provide a personalized AI tutor to children across Africa, starting with Malawi. I believe it is a noble cause, maybe naive, but sure, it's an ambitious goal. Achieving countrywide adoption will require significant effort, investment, and a lot of political capital.
Not to mention overcoming corruption and bureaucracy. Lots of greasy politicians with their hands out looking for a slice of the pie.
You're right, Bobby. The challenges are many, but this vision could become a reality with the right partnerships and ethical approaches. Education is the cornerstone of development, after all.
You got that right, T. Of course, I'm just an old country bumpkin, so what do I know? But seems to me them AI tablets have potential, presuming we don't end up with a whole country full of robots.
Well said, Bobby. As with all technology, the keys are balance and wisdom in the application. And speaking of knowledge, do any parting thoughts to share with our listeners?
The future sure is coming at us faster than a white-tailed deer on opening day of hunting season, but we gotta embrace progress and change while applying good old common sense.
Your words are a timely reminder, Bobby. We can responsibly guide AI's development while still exploring its incredible potential. It's an exciting time, but we must remain measured, ethical, and human. Before we conclude today, I mentioned one more topic. I want to return to it: the rise of deepfake technology for video and audio. Deepfakes use AI to digitally replace a person's face or voice with someone else's. The technology has developed rapidly in recent years, allowing for very convincing fakes. We saw recently funny videos of Trump and Biden playing golf together, and this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh yeah, I've seen some of those deepfake videos on YouTube. They're getting so real, it's downright spooky.
Yes, that's one of the major ethical concerns with deepfakes. They can be used without the person's consent. But the technology also has creative potential for entertainment and could be a game changer for content translation.
One problem I see is people not trusting real videos now, thinking everything's fake, and using deepfakes to spread lies or steal money. That could cause some real chaos.
Deepfakes are becoming a primary concern for lawmakers and law enforcement. Congress has warned that deepfakes could undermine public trust in digital media and our perceptions of reality.
Dang, I didn't realize the government was so worried. But if you can't trust what you see and hear, that could cause all sorts of mayhem.
Indeed, Bobby. This technology also poses challenges for evidence in court cases. Judges and juries need to prepare to scrutinize the authenticity of video or audio that could be faked.
Criminals could get away with all sorts of mischief with deepfakes. Or governments could even use them to spread misinformation. Once you can fake anything, the truth gets hard to find.
I couldn't agree more, Bobby. Another significant issue is the explosion of deepfake porn featuring women without their consent. By one estimate, 96% of deepfakes are non-consensual porn. Bobby, we have daughters, our wives. Could you imagine them being exploited like this? Could you reproduce receiving a video of your wife in a deepfake video having sex with someone else? Or worse, our toddler children. Image a couple fighting for the guard of their children and forging an abuse video.
Well, I'll be. That's just downright despicable, T. It's one thing to use a man's face for a joke, but to exploit women and children like that, it's sick, plain and simple. Deepfakes have their uses, sure, but this is crossing the line. As a father and a husband, I tell you, it boils my blood to think about someone doing that to my family. And to hear it's happening right now in our courts, well, it's enough to make a man lose his faith in humanity. We've got to do something about this, T. We've got to stand up and fight against this kind of abuse. It's our duty as men, as fathers, and as human beings.
It's terrifying and absolutely unacceptable that such abuses are taking place. As fathers, as husbands, as human beings, we have a responsibility to ensure that technology is used ethically and responsibly. We need more stringent laws and regulations to curb such exploitations, and more importantly, we need to create awareness. People should know the dangers of deepfakes and the potential harm they can cause. We must stand together against such abuses, not just for us, but for our children, our families, and our society. On that note, I think it's important to remember that technology, like a coin, has two sides. While it can bring about remarkable advancements and conveniences, it can also be used for malicious purposes if it falls into the wrong hands. But as long as we are aware, informed, and vigilant, I believe we can steer the course of technology towards a future that is beneficial for all.
Yep, we may be in for a wild AI ride ahead, folks, but this cowboy aims to saddle up and take the bull by the horns. Okay, enough horsing around. Let's put this puppy to bed.
As we wrap up today's episode, I'd like to thank all our listeners for joining us on this fascinating exploration of the world of AI and deepfakes. Remember to stay informed, stay vigilant, and keep an open mind. The future is bright if we face it together.
Adios, amigos. See y'all next time for more tech talk at the crossroads of possibility and practicality.
As we sign off, we'll leave you with an AI-generated soundtrack to play us out. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember to stay curious, stay informed, and keep an open mind. Bye for now.